Jag, I just want to say thank you for coming and joining us. Natania is getting a phone call right now, I can guarantee you. And, you know,
That's
since the last time
Ron.
we spoke to each other, I just want to say I can't wait for Saturday. Hope everything's been good at your end since the last time we spoke. And
you can't wait for round two with this guy?
oh, listen, what did you think of the trailer?
I was getting ready to say, Jaguar has a picture of Courtney in the background. If y'all didn't know, that's Courtney in the background.
I know you're in there.
It's the music recording network. Out of the shower to the bedroom, from the bedroom to the studio, to the best. If your day is blown, we crank to the morning. Make sure your sub is on while we playing your song. And it's gonna be on. We rock 3 channels up here on this YouTube stream, and we always let our subscribers know that they are supreme. Haters stand by cause we so fly, react to the beat cause I'm that guy to move you all night long. Why I tell you what's happening in this song. Music make me crazy, baby, do it for me louder. Viewers know my cross keep on bumping with the song. I'ma make you sweat until they turn the house lights on. After party at the Music Recording Network.
What is up, YouTube? I have a exclusive. Well, it's not exclusive. I don't think I'm on this one. I don't know. Jaguar Wright talks to the woman shot by Diddy, allegedly, in club with J-Lo. Natania Reuben. I had an opportunity to chat with her on Sean Atwood's YouTube channel. And I'll tell you what I said later on and everything. Y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, and y'all pray for her and hope that she finds some type of justice in all this crazy stuff. But I had an opportunity to talk to her. Very nice lady, and she sticks to her story, and she's fighting, trying to get justice. So hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's check this out, y'all. Here we go.
And can we circle back to your question? Because I would just like to welcome Jaguar Wright to the show. No big deal. No big deal. No
Jaguar Wright.
So thank you so much.
Honey, what's up? I'm just sitting back looking at a master class in serving up straight whoop ass. I'm loving it.
Listen, I'm in the master class with you, my dear. And I told you that. With you. I have so much respect for this woman because she, like me, is not afraid to cry aloud and spare not. And listen, the passion comes from somewhere deeper and bigger than us. It is driven by God. It's why I have never been afraid, not one day, because it comes from God. This life we are walking through is a school.
Yes.
Okay? And I am in AP courses right now, and so is Jaguar. This life is a school, and in order for us to get to this level of resolute and firm resistance, we have to stand on integrity. Trust me, if I was a raggedy person, you think they would not have used whatever they could to drag me up and down the internet streets? I have walked with integrity since I was a child. And I would forego lots of things because if it did not comport with integrity, I was not with it. And I love you, Jag. I love you. And I told you that. The level of respect. When I tell you so many people sent me videos with Jaguar Wright saying, what about Natania Reuben? I was like, oh my God. People are like, I didn't know you knew Jaguar. I said, I don't. And they were like, well, she talks about you all the time. I said, I love her for that.
Yes.
Every person that
tried to make everyone forget.
Say that once again.
They tried to make everyone forget.
That's right. That's right.
I wasn't going to let them do that.
Thank you. God bless you.
I need to say this to you because I wasn't going to pop up today. I wanted to just watch like everyone else and call you after.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you I was watching. But I wanted to show up today just to say to you, anytime people ask a question about whether or not Diddy is the devil and know that your story actually happened, it baffles me. It baffles me. You have not wavered, not one time. You have told the exact same story consistently at this point now for decades.
Mm-hmm.
You have been gaslit. You have been lied on. You have been bullied. And I know what that's like because I'm there. I'm in those trenches with you. You know, the conversation that we had the other day is one I will never forget.
Me either.
And I can't wait to have more of those conversations with you.
Me too.
But I just wanted to, Asheo, I wanted to just tell everyone here in the chat, everyone here watching, Replay Gang, trolls in the bushes, or from outer space, you could never, ever imagine the dexterity it takes to have your life threatened, put into jeopardy, spared by God, and walk away this brilliant and resilient. What this woman suffered, most people are never the same if they survive. And look at her. See, only God could make that happen. You know, everyone was running around thinking people was going to be in the White House forever. But see, God does what he wants to do, not what you want him to. A lot of people wanted this woman to be quiet. A lot of people wanted this woman to go away. A lot of people were mad that this woman wasn't some greedy street tramp who just wanted money and an NDA and another record deal. See, for every 50 of those women that did that, there's women like her, women like me that say no. And I thank you, Natania. I thank you. And I honor you.
Jag, I just want to say thank you for coming and joining us. Natania is getting a phone call right now, I can guarantee you. And, you know, since the last time we spoke to each other, I just want to say I can't wait for Saturday. Hope everything's been good at your end since the last time we spoke. And
you can't wait for round 2 with this guy?
Oh, listen, what did you think of the trailer?
I was getting ready to say, Jaguar has a picture of Courtney in the background. If y'all didn't know, that's Courtney in the background.
I love it. I wanted to wait to get permission, you know.
Listen, I was, that was all you in my mind when I did that. But listen, who cares what I have to think? What people want to hear you and Natania talk. So I don't want to take any time away from you guys.
All that I have to say, I've been running my mouth out front. I came here to urge you to not only listen to this woman, but to take her words in, And I want you to think about what you would feel like if your child went out to a nightclub with some friends and you had to meet up with them at the hospital. And the person that did it got to run around. I want y'all to remember that Versace dress that mesmerized the world into getting everyone to forget about this woman's very public pain and that trial. All it took was a dress. Me and Natania were just talking about this the other day. And if I had a question, that would be my question to you here, friend. What did that feel like to see the very real horror that was happening to your life and watching loyalty and support shrivel up and it all got covered up with a dress?
Yeah, it felt, first of all, it was so dehumanizing because even some people that were close to me, it was so instant. Their disloyalty was so instant for money. And how does that money feel to you now? Like you have your own children. You have to look in your kid's face when you tell your little story at a party, like, oh, I know her. I was there that night. She was with me. And then they're going to say, oh, you do? How come you don't talk to her anymore? And you have to look in your child's face and admit the dirt that you did. Why? How does it feel now? Because the suffering of the people who have been victimized in the past 24 years lie on their shoulders as well. See, it bothers me, it pains me, but it lies on everyone who allowed him to get away with it, who was complicit in their silence. It lies on your shoulder. You are going to have to make an account to Yeshua. You're going to have to make an account someday for what you've done. How does it reconcile you that you might go on the up elevator and end on the down elevator because of what you did to me? What did I do to deserve this? What did I do to become a pariah? What did I do to deserve? I was an innocent victim. And then I was double victimized by my culture. I was double victimized by my community. By the world. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. When I look at people worshiping celebrity and doing all this foolishness, I'm like, yo, who are these people? How did I get here, God? Why am I here with these people? Because it's unfair. It's dirty. And then I watch these people live their lives and actualize their joy and their happiness. And if I have a screw face or something one day, I'm a disgruntled person. Like, I am a woman who had dreams, realities, desires, goals, all of that. How did I end up the bad guy? Would you know, I've had people say, oh my God, like you told me that 3 times already. I heard that story 4 times already. Would you say that to me if it was a brain tumor I ended up with?
Probably.
Is there a limit on how many times I can voice my pain?
Probably.
There would.
Because guess what? Everyone hates you. You want to know why they hate you? Because if they had your story, they would have took the money and signed the NDA and bought a Bentley and would have done this and would have done that. They're mad at you. They actually see you not monetizing your... My apologies. Someone called.
Okay.
But can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you're perfect. You're perfect.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure it didn't knock the sound out. But they're actually mad at you that an opportunity that they would have taken, you didn't.
Yep.
They're really mad. That, like, it's sad. I don't know how many women I've heard say about R. Kelly surviving victims, and now even saying about Diddy. I'm hearing women say it about Diddy too. You should have been so lucky as to been assaulted by that person. I wish he would have assaulted me. I wish he would have paid me. Like, there are people who really think that little of their life, their selves, and their bodies that they see being victimized by a rich predator as an opportunity for their future.
Yeah.
Am I lying, Natania?
You're not lying at all. I've had people say it to me. I've had people ask me, why don't you just be quiet and just go and take the money and be quiet? I'm like, what? I have too much integrity for that. I stand on the shoulders of my ancestors who suffered indignity after indignity. There's no way I'm going to make all that suffering in vain by coming here and taking $1 for my silence. My voice means too much. I tell you, 3 women sent me emails telling me they were going to unalive themselves and came across a video that I was on, heard me, and decided not to quit and decided to fight because of my voice. Suppose I wasn't there. That would be 3 more people out of this world. And God knows how many other people never wrote to me, but God forbid felt like that. I relish that. I know my life was not in vain and neither was my suffering. God kept me here for a purpose. Who am I to disavow what he is trying to teach the world? Sometimes you got to sacrifice your life and be that vessel that God is using. If I'm a tool to teach people fortitude, faith, steadfastness, courage, I'm going to be that. I'm not going to, listen, I am too afraid of God. I would never disrespect God. Never. I'm not going to waste my time lying. I'm not going to waste my time, taking money and sitting down and being quiet. I'm not going to do anything like that. Until I go home and face him, I am going to stand steadfast.
Do you remember what we said the other day when we talked for the first time on the phone?
Yes.
And we were talking about your testimony, and I told you, when I think of you, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
And Abednego. That's right. That's right. Because I said, what did I say to you? I went through the fire and I do not smell like smoke. And I mean that.
Only God can do that.
That's right.
100%.
Only God is capable of this.
Natania, I was wondering also if a lot of people also get angry because when you speak out, you shatter the reality or the image they have of that celebrity. So a lot of that is like, how can you say that about my idol? Because people don't just like them. These people idolize them. And people don't understand the power of the word idolize, but it means that it's an idol. It's something that's beyond anything, and they would do anything for them. I've seen it firsthand with some celebrities. People literally hate you for just even hinting that there may be something wrong with that person, because how dare you? You're jealous because you want to be with him. Why would he want to be with you?
Listen, I had a woman curse me out. It's the main. I already had my qualms about IG. I'm not a fan of Instagram, but I had a woman curse me out and harass me back and forth. She had to send me about 60 messages back and forth about J-Lo, cursing me out. I'm like, woman, do you know J-Lo would not spit on you if you was on fire? She don't allow people to look at her and talk to her. Why are you waxing poetically for her? She's a criminal. It is a violation of the law to lie to a federal agent. You cannot sit in a courtroom and testify and lie to a federal agent. And anything she said regarding, I don't know what happened, is a lie. There is a cop who gave an interview. He said, when I was chasing them, when they were fleeing from the club, a woman's hand came out of the window and threw a gun out. Why did they let her go? Because if you go to any inner city jail, if you go to any state prison, there are guys in there, women in there that were simply in a car where a gun was. And because nobody claimed the gun became theirs too. And they are serving jail time. What's so special about J-Lo that she's not?
Shit. I do that every time.
In there that were simply in a car where a gun was. And because nobody claimed the gun became theirs too. And they are serving jail time. What's so special about J-Lo that she's not? She brought the gun in the club. How do you get away with that? How? What kind of double justice is this?
That's how. Money. I got to jump in here. Natania, money.
Mm-hmm.
Money.
And it's disgusting.
Simple fact that she was able to put on a dress and then go run off with that white boy. And act like what happened to your life never happened. And then run around talking about female empowerment. Running around talking about this, talking about that. Like, we need to understand that she just sat on a podium warning everybody about why they shouldn't vote for Donald Trump, and then opened up her big fat mouth for Elon Musk to shove some truth down it. You want to warn everybody about Donald, but you didn't warn nobody about Diddy.
And here's the thing. I'm no fan of Elon's, but I shout him out for that. I was tickled pink. I was tickled pink when he said that.
Girl,
I
when
need
Elon
people
get to
to call
go
out the truth.
Wow, that was crazy.
Yeah, and Jennifer
I heard that
doesn't speak
also.
on behalf of the Latino community. I can vouch for that. I'm Latino. She doesn't speak for me. Her ass doesn't speak for me, you know?
Jaguar, Natania, how do you both feel about the fact that P. Diddy is trying to use the black card, trying to use racism? And what do you think about Black Lives Matter doing nothing for all those victims who are black? How do you feel? Do you feel betrayed a little? Like, how do you feel as a black woman?
Here's the thing. Black Lives Matter is a movement and an organization, and it's not a specific group. So that I won't step into. I won't give the onus to that, because when I was crying, there was some black people that stepped in the gap and really held me up. Okay? Really held me up. What I have a problem with is, why did the NRA not come out and speak against this? I mean, they're Second Amendment people, but do you mean for people to have guns to wildly shoot into nightclubs? If you're so steadfast on people's right to bear arms and do so properly, where are all of those organizations? Where are they? Where are all of the people who, where are they? Where's anybody standing up for me? Where are they?
Nobody. They're all too afraid. Because
I won't even take the cop out for afraid. They are self-aggrandizing and worried about their pocket. That's their God.
Well, that's what I mean. There's fear in that too. You know, these people are no different than the Jewish, insurance agents who knew that the Holocaust was coming and went to their neighborhoods amongst their people and convinced them to buy life insurance term policy and got that, knowing that they were never going to have to pay it out because they knew what were going to happen. And a lot of those people who profited, who were Holocaust profiteers, they changed their name, they moved to America, and they distanced themselves. And even though they weren't the ones that were doing all of, the genocide and stuff like that, they enabled it and they profited off of it. And guess what? They don't want to be discovered either. Because they already know the second that people find out how they made their money, they won't want to have anything to do with them because they're trash. So these people are also dealing with that fear, Natania. Fear of being found out.
You're
Fear
right.
of being fear, it's all based in fear in one aspect or another, but it is selfish.
It's
That's
very,
for sure.
and I have a major problem.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. I keep having little interruptions. Here we go.
Spent their time enjoying the fact that they're celebrities, pushing forth their image and their brand and all of this, using the airwaves, and now they're, please don't put me on anything. I don't want to be on the internet. Why? You enjoyed the adulation all these years.
I'm gonna use take the broken ones,
All right. Why he crying? Let him cry. My bad.
I do. Come on, you just.
That ain't good, man. But hey. All right. Nephew wanted the drumstick, so he crying, so he ran and got him. Daddy about to spoil the son. Let him cry. That's the way I do it. Okay, let's back up some. Here we go, y'all.
All of these people who have spent their time enjoying the fact that they're celebrities, pushing forth their image and their brand and all of this, using the airwaves, and now they're, please don't put me on anything. I don't want to be on the internet. Why? You enjoyed the adulation all these years. Why you want to be in the shadows now? Come out of the shadows. And I'm going to say
they don't claim their master, Natania. That's why.
And you're 100% right. But I know somebody she gonna have to give me some recompense. J-Lo, come to the front of the class.
Oh yes.
We have a conversation to have. I will
profited off of your pain.
I will fight. I will sit in front of a Congress. I will do everything so they can unseal that grand jury testimony where you lied. It is a federal crime to lie to federal agents. It is a lie. It is a crime to lie.
No statute of limitation either.
Go on, Jaguar.
No statute of limitation.
Oh, indeed. Indeed. Because you know what happened. And Shine is being justice too. Because if he claims that he was a fall guy, then open your mouth and say the sentence. Say the full sentence.
They won't.
Right.
Natania, do you have any sense? I know you believe in God. I believe in God, but I get angry. I get angry, especially against the people who didn't speak out. Don't you have you know what? I know it's not vengeance. Vengeance is different than justice. But people want to say, oh, you're being vengeful whenever you claim for justice. I kid you not. I did the live with you earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said I was coming back. I got 41 messages so far not to talk to you. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, step off, because I don't understand why people are like that, she's lying, she's another one that's coming and talking about Diddy and she's lying about it.
Tell them to get on the computer and Google all the old footage. Tell them to go look up the Lear Gordon story. They will see old footage. I have never once minced my words. You can listen. This is who I was as a kid. It's appreciated now, but trust me, when you're a kid, it's not appreciated. I was the kid that if my mother said, go 3 blocks down, when you get to the 3rd corner, make a right and stand on that corner. Halfway there, if God told me to make a right turn, baby, I'm making that first right. I'll take whatever the ramifications are at home. I have gotten in trouble for going and my mother was on the way home saying, you better go get that belt. You in trouble when you get home. I went and got the belt. I got in trouble for going to get the belt. Oh, what are you trying to prove? You think you're grown? I've been this person. My mother will tell you, since I was 13 years old, my favorite term was I'm grown, because I never felt like a child. The spirit that lives in me is a wise old lady. I have never felt like I was a kid. And I always used to say, why are you treating me like a kid? I'm grown. She was like, you are 13. I was like, I'm grown. In Jewish communities, 13 is a sign of adulthood. I should be having a bat mitzvah right now. I'm grown. My mother was like, you're not Jewish. And be quiet. You're not grown. You're 13. I never felt like a child. I always had my say, even if I had to get in trouble. When I had a talk radio show here in Atlanta, you know what the title was? Having My Say. And it came from a book my mother brought home when I was younger, the Delaney sisters, called Having Our Say. There were two sisters that grew up on the college campuses. Their father was a dean of some of the major Black colleges, HBCUs, and they grew up on the college campuses. And it was they chronicled their life, the things that they saw, experienced, and dealt with the first 100 years. They were both centenarians. And when I saw that title, I was like, Having Our Say. I said, wow, I'm going to make a book when I grow up, or I'm going to have a radio show, and I'm going to call it Having My Say. And I did it. And the only reason I got the radio show is because I was a regular caller on the F. Keith Slaughter show. And people were like, they would drop a bomb if you made a profound statement. And I kept getting a bomb when he had to take off for a while because he had, I think, a medical procedure or something. Everybody on the Facebook group said, let Natania be the host while he's gone. And people were like, the radio station was like, what is this? Let a caller be the radio host while he's gone? I mean, they made a whole groundswell. I've always had perfect diction, extremely articulate, extremely intelligent, and never afraid to speak. I'm not going to take my own case and be afraid to speak. The Bible says sin, but it says anger, but sin not. I have a right to get angry because although I'm the spirit, I am still the flesh. And so my flesh gets angry at times. It gets angry when I see people disavow a victim for no reason other than they want to be cool with a celebrity. But for the most part, I know my glory comes from God. I'd be like, child, I ain't studying them. Every now and then I'll get angry though. I'm human.
Yeah. The reason I mentioned this, I didn't want to be rude or anything. The reason I mention is because people don't understand that even with everything on the news about Diddy, you still got their crazies defending them and harassing or trying to silence people like you.
Well, here's what they need to consider. What I say this all the time. This life that we're in is a school. And what I know to be a fact, and most of you can probably relate, that which you judge, God will drop in your lap. When your child is dealing with something like this, you come holler at me. I'll leave my email address. Yeah. Whatever you judge or criticize, God is going to lay it at your feet. Be very mindful. The Bible says, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. You harm me, baby. You harming yourself. I've had to tell many people, don't waste your time. Don't do it. God is going to strike you. You're not going to make it to the corner. And they say, who are you supposed to be? And then when they show up next week with a cast on their leg, and I'd be like, what happened? Then I had people say, she's a witch. I'm not a witch. I am God's chosen one. And to whom he chooses, he gives protection.
Amen.
If you read the Bible, every prophet has a difficult life. Yes. See, I grew up in the church. Every prophet, there's not one prophet who doesn't have a difficult life. I've had to release, surrender, and relegate myself to being his vessel. I had a wise pastor tell me once, God gave me a word for the pastor. He told me to tell him 3 things. I'd never met this man a day in my life. I told him the first 2 things. He walked away and had to cry. He came back, and when I was about to tell him the 3rd thing, another gentleman walked in and said, hey, Reverend. And then I took pause because I was like, oh, Reverend, I'm preaching the word to a Reverend. I didn't know who this man was. So when he came back and said, what was the 3rd thing? I said, oh, nothing. He said, wait a minute, you told me 3 things. I was like, nothing. Because I felt like, who am I to preach to a Reverend? I never told him the 3rd thing, but he invited me to his church, gave me his information. 2 days later, God was like, call him and tell him the 3rd thing. I told you to tell him. I sent him a text and said, hey, there was a 3rd thing. Give me a call whenever you have time. He called me immediately. He said, what was it? When I told him, he yelled at me and said, let me tell you something. When God gives you a word, get out of your own way. You are a vessel. You deliver the message and you step back. And I was like, he's a reverend. Why is he yelling at me? And I don't even know him that well. Why are you yelling at me? And he said, God told me to tell him, when you go into this meeting with your wife that he was getting a divorce from, do not approach the conversation like you are with the woman you are divorcing. Talk to her like the woman you fell in love with and married. I didn't tell him that part. When I didn't tell him that part, they got into an argument, and thank God, when the people called the police, the first cop that got there knew him and said, "Get out of here. The sergeant is on the way. If the sergeant gets here and you're still here, he's going to arrest you." He said, had you told me that, I would have walked in and I would have approached it like you said. He said, the moment I met you, I knew you were God's chosen, because you told me about my divorce and nobody but me and my wife knew. And you were able to tell me that. He said, stay out of the way and deliver the message God gives you to deliver. The meeting they called him into was a last minute mediation, just an impromptu mediation. I had no way of knowing. I didn't know this man. And so I understand who I am, and I understand what God has called me to do. I need people to stay out of my way and just let me do his work. What are you threatened by?
Yeah.
They're threatened by you.
Because they know they themselves are not right.
Natania, see, me and you got a lot more talking to do, because I have a testimony like that. My eldest son, God rest his soul, 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗞𝗦 Wright, his godmother, her name is Nadia Johnson. And she invited me to New Year's, and I was all set to go to Manhattan. I was going to go to cafeteria, meet up with some friends, go to the Hamptons. But she convinced me to come to church with her that night. She said, there's a bishop in, and he's really tapped in, and you need to be here. I'm telling you, you need to be here. So I come dressed to the nines. I must have been wearing at least $50,000 worth of diamonds. I had on a $5,000 coat, $3,000 boots. You know, I was dressed down with my $3,000 Gucci glasses on. And I come up in there and I'm sitting in the middle by myself. I didn't even sit with my friend. I sat alone because I came late, because I wanted to be able to sneak out. And the bishop started calling. He was getting channeled right in, and he was tapping on people's shoulder. And I'm like, oh, please don't let him come talk to me. Please don't let him come talk to me. And he walked right past me, and I was like, oh, thank God. And the second that I said, thank God, he turned around and looked at me and came back and put his hand on my shoulder. And he said, you are an intercessor. God has important work for you. It is your job to take from the evil and give to who are good. It is your job to work between both worlds. You belong to none. You only belong to God. And that was it. My life has been a series of random epiphanies and serendipities. And, you know, I think people tend to forget. We get caught up into the salacious man-made stuff, and we get caught up into the laws of man, but we don't think about the laws of God as much. You know,
Amen.
We don't think about the fact that there is an energy that runs this place that's so much bigger than all of us. So much bigger. And
100%.
you know, I'm going to get ready to tap out because I got to go move around. Friend, when you get a chance this evening, give me a call.
I will.
But I just wanted to let you know, you know, angels are oftentimes not noticed because they show up in human form.
That's right.
The truth is, all of us have a choice to be a devil or an angel. We can be inhabited by whatever energy we allow ourselves to be inhabited by.
Right.
Like the presence that looms over Diddy's life. There's a presence that looms over me and Latania's life. It's not our job to write the story. It's just our job to know our lines.
That's right.
And our lines are the words of God. And that's that.
That's right.
And I love you, sister. And I
Love you
can't wait for
too.
y'all to get to know this woman. She's amazing.
Thank
And
you
I'm
so
so glad I spoke up for you before it was popular.
Thank you.
I'm so glad I never forgot you.
I'm so glad you didn't either. Thank you so
Natania,
much.
y'all. Natania and Jaguar.
All right, guys, I'm going to go before I start crying. By the
See you
way,
Saturday. We'll see
don't
you
forget
Saturday.
round 2 with this guy.
Round 2 Saturday, my guys.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much, Jaguar.
That already happened. First of all, before I know we're gonna head in the comments and everything, you probably already commented. I had to make a couple of stops because no matter what, family, nephew and his son came past, and I had to stop twice. I thought he was gone, then he came back. So, and my editors, I don't know what they're going to do, and we don't even care because family comes first, second, and third. If you obey the Bible and obey no matter what, family comes in. I don't put no do not disturb sign or whatever the case may be. That's family. They come in. And Natania, I had the opportunity to talk to Natania. How I'm gonna say this, because before I started doing YouTube, she told me this happened over 25 years ago when Diddy allegedly, you gotta say allegedly, shot her. And she said, I watched him shoot me in my face. And I was one of the main people going around, well, not going around, but just saying, oh, she lying. She just want money. Because if somebody shoots you in your face, you're going to be dead. Half your face going to be blown off. Because we refer back to what Hollywood, bam, your face, you know. It looked like she never even been shot in the face, you know, plastic surgery, whatever you want to call it. But once I started investigating all this and started getting into it, I heard her story. I watched her speak, and she never changed from day one, and she's still preaching what happened, what went down. I never knew that the police stated that a female hand, he seen his female hand come out the car and throw the gun, and the gun landed, that weapon landed on another car. And that guy got out the car and turned the gun in and all this stuff. I mean, I'm like, what? I ain't know that. This, that, nothing. So I had the opportunity to apologize to her, and I told her, I said, you're looking at a person that didn't believe you. And I apologize, and I'm sorry. I am so sorry that I even thought that from the he say, she say in the street. I never even read or looked or tried to investigate anything. So if you're thinking one way, just be from the he say, she say stuff in the streets. And I apologize the way I sound, man. I know I'm stopped up and I got all kinds of cough drops in my mouth. Take a little time, divide yourself from the situation, listen to this person, listen to that person, and do some investigation for yourself and see what you come up with. Sometimes you'll be amazed, because I am amazed at what I have learned from all this stuff. I'm going to get on up out of here. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.